He'll turn over the ball.
Those are all nice, but he better come to the ballpark with the fastball and the big curveball.
Here he comes, 2-1. And the fastball missed, and he's behind 3-1 to Barrett.
Well, you know he's taking this one to try to get that base on balls.
3-1 to Marty Barrett. In there.
So he does so many things that he's really a throwback.
3-2. Ground ball to shortstop. Santana over to Hernandez. 1 away. The executive producer of NBC Sports, Michael Weisman, and sending along the pictures for your enjoyment, the coordinating producer for NBC Baseball and tonight's director, Harry Coyle. The telecast of tonight's World Series game, produced by John J. Filippelli. Pregame produced by Les Dennis. Pregame directed by Andy Rosenberg. Technical directors Lenny Stucker and Steve Semien. Here's Buckner. Grounded out, fouled out, and popped up twice. Unable to get the ball out of the infield. 0 for 4. Right.
That's when Orozco's tough. When he comes from around first base with that good hard fastball.
Jim Rice on deck. And a shot, but it's backhanded by Hernandez, and he carries it to the bag. So Buckner hit that one right on the screws, but it's an out, and he goes 0 for 5 along with Wade Boggs. Jim Rice walked, struck out, flied to center, and doubled. When you think about it, a great portion of the Red Sox offense tonight has been the walk. They received 7 bases on balls, and yet they've been unable to cash him in, and that's really a great part of the story. They are 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. They have left 11 men in 8 innings. Low fastball, but it was the first fastball, and Jim's not going to wait for the second. So for John McNamara, just about a cinch. The series even, and it'll be Dwight Gooden and Bruce Hurst tomorrow night. Fisted foul out of play, and the count 0-2. Ron Darling, who has pitched magnificently in the World Series. 7 innings, no earned runs. Bruce Hurst, who goes tomorrow night, talking to Dwight Evans. 0-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. So Orozco goes 3-2 to Rice. Ron Darling walked 6. Roger McDowell walked 1. 3-2. And he chased the sinker. Down he goes, and that's that. As Orozco strikes out Rice, and the Mets have caught the Red Sox at Fenway Park, and the series is tied 2 games apiece. There were several outstanding contributors, and they would certainly be the pitcher Ron Darling. There was Gary Carter, who had 2 home runs and a double. Carter, Darling, and Lenny Dykstra hit the 2-run home run that broke Dwight Evans' heart, not to mention what it did to the Sox in the 7th inning. So tonight's NBC Miller Lite players of the game: Carter, Darling, and Dykstra. And Miller Lite happy to present a check for $1,000 in their names to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. So, Joe, the Mets have done it. They came into Fenway. Everybody worried about the wall and what it would do to them. They didn't work out. And the next thing you know, they're even in the series.
Well, that workout looms bigger and bigger. You mentioned it. And Davey just flat out says he didn't want all his players hearing all the negative press and what goes with it. And so he doesn't work out. And now they've tied up as 2 out of 3.
And isn't it interesting that the wall that seemed to figure so much against the Mets turned out to be a friend, because Carter hit 2 home runs. Maybe a key play was Gedman's ball high off the left field wall, and Mookie Wilson threw him out at second base. Ron Darling, the kid from Millbury, Massachusetts, big man on campus at Yale, and now he's a big man in New York. Let's meet him and go to Marv Albert.
Thank you, Vin. And Ron, a solid performance after some control problems right at the start.
I had a problem tonight. I don't know what it was. I think whether it was just being a little nervous or whether just trying too hard here in the park in my backyard. I think I was just trying too hard out there, and I pitched a lot better in the first game, but fortunately the results were a little better this time.
Well, as we discussed on the pregame show 11 years ago, as a fan, you were sitting in the bleachers in center field watching the Red Sox perform in the World Series. What did tonight mean to you?
Well, it meant a lot because I got to pitch in front of all my friends I grew up with in high school and all that kind of stuff. And luckily, I only let one of the balls go off the wall tonight, but it was just a great thrill for me.
Was there any dream sequence the night before of what might happen, positive or negative, pitching here at Fenway for the first time?
Well, I was hoping to go 9 innings and just get the victory, but with all the guys that walked out there, 7 innings was enough, I guess, and thank God Jesse picked us up. But I just wanted to have a good outing here, and hopefully our team would win to tie it up.
All right, your battery mate, Gary Carter, has been Mr. Clutch. 2 home runs tonight, batting average of .412, and this series has turned around.
It has really turned around, but it really was Lenny Dykstra that started it off yesterday for us, Marv, and then Ronnie Darling just pitched out a jam after jam and pitched an outstanding game, 7 shutout innings, and really that's what it was, a total team effort. It was just nice to be able to win the ball game.
And that home run number 1 as you connected against the low fastball.
Yes, Al Nipper I've never faced before, and I was just told that he throws a lot of curveball sliders, and he's got like a screwball, and all I was looking for first pitch like that with a runner on second was just to try and drive the ball somewhere, and it left it out a little bit out over the plate, and fortunately I was able to get it up.
Gary, 6th inning, you're on third base, and would you describe the sliding style of Gary Carter in this situation? Take a look at
when I went back to there's Jim Rice fumbling it a little bit, and I got back to the bag just about the same time that he caught the ball. He threw the ball up in the air, and all I could think about was just trying to avoid Gedman. I almost got away from him. But with my blazing speed, I knew I was going to be out.
Nice form. That's a 2.5.
Was it a 2.5? Well, I'll take it then.
Gary, there was a published report. Of course, we're early when we talk in terms of series most valuable player, but you'd be among the early line favorites. There was a report that there are $100,000 bonuses in the contracts of Darryl Strawberry and Keith Hernandez for winning series MVP. Is there such a clause in the Gary Carter contract?
To be honest with you, Marv, I don't really know at this particular time. All I care about is that we get the ring, and that's what we've been striving for. We've had such a great season all year and had an outstanding series against Houston, and that really drained us, but now we're back 2-2, and the only thing that I got on my mind is get that World Series ring.
Will you be discussing that with your agent at a future date?
Well, no. I just want to be able to play and win, and that's all I've been striving for. I've been financially set up very, very well, and I'm thankful to the good Lord for that, and my family is well taken care of, and so in the future, it doesn't matter. I'm just glad that we're here where we're at right now.
All right, Gary Carter and Ron Darling. Let's get back upstairs to Vin and Joe.
All right, Marv, a reminder, stay tuned following local news for the Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, except on the West Coast and most Mountain Time Zone stations, where it will be seen at its regular time. Game 5 of the 1986 World Series comes tomorrow night at Fenway. Till then, for Joe Garagiola, this is Vin Scully wishing you a very pleasant good evening from Boston.